Hello, my name is Dr. Lisa Kirchhoff. I'm a GP and I'm also the lead for the GP Stage 2 longitudinal placement, which we run at King's Undergraduate Medical Education in the Community, QMEC for short, at King's College London. And this is just to provide a little bit of an overview for any of you considering joining our team of GP tutors on the programme. So this is an introduction to the team. You may recognise some of us and you would certainly get to know us very well over the course of the year should you join us. And really the main premise around the placement is the idea of it being a longitudinal placement, which means that it runs throughout the course of the year with students attending the practice 1 day per week, which really supports the idea of continuity. And there's a lot of evidence that there are lots of educational benefits to students experiencing that kind of continuity. And it can also make it a very rewarding teaching experience for you as well. And I just thought I would open with this quote from a student at the end of year evaluation. So it has made me a better student and better doctor by both giving me the chance to explore the world of medicine within a primary care setting and to improve my ability and understanding and clinical skills. It has changed the way I think, making me more open to reflection both inside and outside of my medical study and practice. And furthermore, it has made an impact on my awareness of medicine, health, the issues people can face inside and outside of healthcare, and respecting the importance and value of the consultation space. I think that's quite a powerful and insightful comment from a second year medical student, and it's a reflection of the sorts of learning and development that you can be involved in nurturing and fostering through this placement. So we talked about continuity, and that we can think about that in many different ways. So both with patients, which is a real reflection of how primary care works, with the practice, they can really gain an understanding of how your practice works and get to know the staff. The relationship with you, which is so important. We get so much positive feedback from students and tutors about that longitudinal relationship, and also within their peer group as well. And these are the sorts of learning and outcomes and areas that we want the students to really think about developing through the placement. So developing a holistic understanding of the patient, thinking about health promotion, disease prevention, a good place for developing their clinical skills, thinking about both acute and chronic illness, developing their teamwork and communication skills, both with the members of the practice team, but also as a peer group, and thinking about how community healthcare is delivered in practice. I thought I'd say a quick word about the curriculum. So the first cohort that we had was 2017-18 as part of MBBS 2020, which was the new curriculum that came in. And so just to give you an idea of the terminology we use, so it's stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. And stage 1 provides the foundations of medicine. Stage 2, which is where our programme sits, provides the principles of clinical practice. So year 2 is their first clinical year. There's an option to do an integrated BSc, and we do run one in primary care within QMEC. And then stage 3 is about integration of clinical practice and preparation for foundation training. So then if we look at stage 2 in a bit more detail, so we have years 2 and 3, and you can see in navy blue that we have the longitudinal GP placement running throughout the course of the year, and that is accompanied by 4 blocks that the students participate in within their hospital placements. This is a bit of a snapshot of what happened this year in 2020-2021. So we have 434 students, which is a reflection of the sorts of cohort sizes we're going to have over the next few years, across 45 practices within our network and 63 GP tutors delivering that. So as you can see, we do have in some practices more than one GP tutor delivering the teaching. And this provides a kind of a timetable for how we run the year. So we have half of the cohort having general practice placement on a Tuesday and half of them having it on a Friday. So if you sign up, you would sign up to either a Tuesday or a Friday group. We do have some tutors that deliver on both Tuesdays and Fridays. And the students will attend in groups of 8. They will spend 21 days in general practice with you, and those are the light pink dates, and you can see the titles of the various workshop themes that we set out for each of the weeks. And then these are complemented by 7 campus days that really set the tone for the upcoming workshops and really set the themes for them. You are not committed to delivering teaching on the campus days, though you can as an additional extra should you wish to, but we do have a good pot of campus-based tutors who are very enthusiastic about delivering those sessions. So in terms of the structure of the placement, as I mentioned, the students attend in groups of 8, and they will have half a day workshop with you for 2.5 hours. And as I mentioned, we do provide a lot of resources and support for those workshops. They will then, in the other half of the day, 2 students will join you for a teaching clinic. So that will be a reduced clinic over 2 hours of at least 6 patients. And this is a real highlight for the students because they get to see you in action. They get to have the option to participate and develop their history taking and clinical skills and see real pathology and meet real patients. And the other students, well, in the meantime, will do self-directed learning. They will follow up a bank of patients. So we ask you to assign each pair of student a couple of patients to follow up over the course of the year. These will often be patients who may be housebound or have complex chronic health conditions and health needs. And then we also ask the students to engage in a GP group assignment, which is active practice assignment for a Tuesday cohort and a clinical humanities assignment for a Friday cohort. And the idea is that it's a way for them to develop their team working skills and also contribute something back to the practice in that way. So just a little bit more feedback from our students about what they really value about the placement. So this student was saying that prior to going on placement, they didn't want to become a GP. They thought it was limited and slow paced. But they've learned how intellectually stimulating and diverse general practice can be and would definitely consider becoming a GP in future. And that is echoed across many other comments that we have in the student evaluation. Another student commented on how nice it was to be there every week, that they felt integrated into the practice. We know everyone, we know lots of patients. The consistency is really good, and having that group, the small group that you know, is really good. And then thinking about the sorts of support and feedback they get. So I was constantly supported and giving feedback, which I really appreciate and do not think I have anything bad to say. The GP placement was the highlight of year 2, as I learned so much, which is impressive considering I'm only a second year, and has helped me practice the theoretical, clinical and history taking aspects of the course. And I just wanted to share some of the innovative projects that students have done as part of their GP group assignment. So you can see on the left we have some of the active practice assignments that the students have done. So for example, supporting a practice to become a park run practice or steps challenge. And on the right we can see some of the really creative work that students have done with clinical humanities. So on the bottom right with the hearts, that was work that some students did with the survivors of the Grenfell fire, for example. You would also adopt a role as an educational supervisor. So this would involve overseeing the academic progress for students for the year, and we do encourage a feedback cycle and coaching approach as well. And students again comment on their relationship with their GP tutor, saying I had a tutor who was with us the same year, was very reassuring and supportive. They were supportive and encouraging and personal and caring. And a lot of tutors really enjoy this kind of longitudinal supportive role they have with their students. So finally, how do we actually support you? So we know that it's quite a big program to deliver, and particularly when you're doing it for the first time, that support is needed, and we do our best to provide as much support as we can. So we have a tutor induction in September prior to the placement starting. We run a tutor review session in November, about 6 weeks into the programme, to really see how things are going, identify any problems early on, and introduce some aspects of the course that perhaps we didn't want to overwhelm you with in the induction. There's a whole series of teacher development events that occur throughout the course of the year that really complement the types of teaching that you'll be doing in stage 2. And then we also really like to encourage peer support. So we have some excellent tutors that have been delivering this programme since 2017 who provide a wealth of knowledge and experience. And so we do actually facilitate a WhatsApp group amongst the tutors for sharing of ideas and troubleshooting. And we are trying to formalise a bit more peer mentorship as well. We also provide a lot of responsive support, and this is led by Yvonne Batson-Wright, who's our liaison and support lead. So, you know, we are on the end of an email, we are on the end of the phone, and we do aim to provide as much support as we can for you to be able to deliver a really high quality placement at your practice. And I'm just going to finish off with a few contact details should you want to get in touch with any of us in the team. And we very much look forward to welcoming queries and welcoming you working with us as well.